Welcome back to One Piece Anime Review, episode 103. This is our reviewing the 898th episode of the anime Wano Country, to the land of dancing Sakura and samurai. I'm also going to review the newest chapter of the manga, chapter 948, Kawamatsu, the Kappa appears. Yep, this episode pretty much covers the rest of chapter 909, covering pages 8 through 17, and pretty much the last 4 pages of chapter 910. So roughly right now, they've covered the first 2 chapters of this so far 40 chapter arc. Yep, this arc has been going on for 40 chapters, and they've now officially covered in just like 3 episodes. Yeah, it took 3 episodes to cover 2 chapters. Yep. Now, in the case of what was stuff from 9 and 10, which was partially adapted for last week's episode, this one kind of finishes it up, but that picks up after the episode begins kind of where last week's episode left off, with Luffy falling off the ship, and of course stuff from the ship falls into like this whirlpool, and then you don't see Luffy again until the very end of the episode, where he's waking up on a beach. He says, I must be landing on Wano. And then you see some creatures fighting nearby in the shadow. And that's where Luffy's part ends for the episode. The whole episode is basically the introduction. I love how in the anime they introduce Wano. They have like a geisha, I think it's a geisha, basically playing like a Japanese banjo. And they're playing for like a while, and they open up a curtain, and bam. And the introduction on top is the land of Wano. Yes, I love this introduction. It's a fantastic way to introduce this country. I mean, yeah, we got to the edge of it last week. Now, I did hear before this episode aired that this very episode was going to be where we see Wano. Last week, I do appreciate though they actually the edge of Wano, but you don't see the inside of it yet. Yeah, my guess is the Toei animation, they must have saving this for this very episode. And we figure out exactly what the rest of the Straw Hats are up to. If you're just anime only fan and don't read the manga, you'll be like, man, it's been such a long time since we've seen Frankie, Usopp, Robin, and Zoro. And what are these 4 people doing while they're here? Frankie is a carpenter. Well, why not? Because he built ships for a living, so this is pretty simple for him. Nika Robin is a geisha. Usopp sells toad oil. And he's actually pretty good at it. And Zoro is a Ronin. Which, that makes sense. That will explain why he carries 3 swords. In the case of what they show for Frankie, yeah, apparently his boss doesn't like how he carves like a particular thing that makes it look nice. He's about to hit him, and then Kinemon sort of jumps in like a flash, like, nope, can't do it, because he has to be acting like, regular carpenter. Though I highlight though, and yeah, I'm thinking though, doesn't anybody question the fact that this big bulking guy just showed completely out of nowhere, and he's got metal on his legs? Yeah, no one's gonna question that. Nope. Nika Robin is having trouble basically with the whole thing of being geisha, where she had to lower her hips. I'm like, okay. My guess is this is how they do stuff back then, though we don't see geishas nowadays anymore. Yeah, that's the thing in the past. In the case of Usopp is probably the only person of the 4 who actually takes his job pretty seriously. Just sells toad oil. Yeah, he does a really good job. He's a really good salesman, despite the fact he's a freaking con man. Probably. Zoro, what he does in the episode, he just walks about, comes across and sees a slasher. A serial killer uses a sort of scale people call it a slasher, and he's like, and all of a sudden the police shows up. He's about to attack the slasher because he smells blood. And he's about to attack him, and all of a sudden the police show up. And yes, these are feudal Japan style policemen, where they carry kind of like an L-shaped weapon. Yeah, Zoro can easily find out the guy freezes, but have to basically play the part of a Ronin, so he easily gets taken, arrested. Yeah, instead of putting handcuffs on him, they did simply just tie him up with a rope. And then they just, take him basically, show him off, and of course say, oh yeah, here's Zoro, the slasher. and then basically he's taken to commit Shinpakuto, which I should point out though, this is actually a real Japanese ritual that is not conducted anymore. No. Yeah, this is something that actually is a real ritual, but it's not conducted anymore. Probably because they don't think it's really necessary anymore. No. Because probably also Japanese tastes have changed over the course of the last 200 years. Yep. It's like, oh, this blade doesn't have a handle on it. It's like, don't need it to make Shinpakuto. And of course, this usual thing just takes off. Like, this little samurai thing that basically sticks his arm to the sleeve, just sticking it through, and he's about to do it, and then he stops and he sniffs blood, and it's on the official that's here who's got his sword. He's like, you are the slasher, and then he turns the dagger, the Shipak toe blade, and covers with hockey and slices up like all the officials, like slicing and dicing them. Not like pieces per se, like slicing, killing all these people. He takes the sword, continues slicing. I'm sure he eventually probably got his swords back. Of course, he's also accused of grave robbing, even though that's not true. Kinemon accused him that too. But the thing is, even I point this out though, yeah, I'm sure that Zoro probably told him at some point, hey man, I did not steal that from your country. Like prior to meeting him, he had never been to Wano before. Yeah, he took that from the actual guy they claim he grave robbed from. Yeah. So he beats him up, and that's the end of that part. And of course, the episode ends with the whole Luffy stuff. Yeah, this is by far a really good episode. I have been looking forward to seeing this in the anime because I loved it in the manga. And the way that the anime depicts it, it's kind of like this old. It's a similar style to that of a Shurikenshin in the way we with a slasher killer going around, and it's kind of like an old samurai movie in a way. Though I've only seen one, that was basically the one that was slaves. Yeah, I haven't seen many samurai movies black and white, but yeah, really good episode. Love it. Now on to the newest chapter of the manga, which by the way is the 40th chapter of this arc. Chapter starts off with a cover story. It looks like you have like, oh, the escape successful. Yeah, this one, it looks like from the look of it looks like possibly that it's a real possibly this cover story that the gang pirates basically managed to escape from Whole Cake. So it starts out with Luffy just battling a bunch of guys, a bunch of prisoners, and basically he's like, why would they attack him? He's like, they're on your side. Of course, they'll doubt him. Of course, he fights him, and of course, the killer guy goes freaking nuts. Starts shooting, and we see it looks like Nico Robin. Yeah, I think it's Nico Robin in disguise. Like, oh look, a Kappa. Voice for the sealed cell. Man inside there is one of the 9 red sheets. Kappa, release me. Yeah, and of course, all people just running around, battling people. And then we see what this thing is. It's basically a guy with a big samurai sword. And it is a retainer. His name is Yokozuna Kawasaki. Yeah, that's him. Yeah, he looks like a big bird with hands. He kind of looks like he's basically not a bird. He kind of looks like a fish man. Yeah, he looks like a fish man who just happened to be a retainer of the Katsu family. And Jenna's like, Red Sea's been unleashed. And the woman's like, Kawamatsu. Actually, I think this was not Nico Robin. I think this is Momoshiki's sister. Well, his little sister, but she's growing up. Yep. And we see, looks like there's an elephant coming out of the jailer's chest for some reason. I think maybe it's Delphi power. Yeah. And of course, woman's like, get away from Lord Vitoro. It's like, Kappa. Like, who is this huge woman? And of course, she knows who basically the old man is. He's Boss Tiger. It's like, Gramps? Reveal your identities to your friends. And they all stand up. Minister is broken. Where's the suspicion? And they all put on masks. And we see the ninja guy who's a retainer, basically a team of Luffy. Kind of like a Wano version of the Straw Hats, in a way. Luffy's like, yeah, I'm ready to fight. That mask. I thought he died at Odin Castle. The foremost beautiful swordsman of the country, Kajuro of the Stros. Huh? You're a man? Yes, but a woman at heart. The mask is scary. And look, we have, and of course, Rezio. Yeah, he's in this chapter, this thing too. It was like rapid the fight, and yeah, that's the chapter ends. Of course, Chopper's there too, which is great. Yep. So, yeah, yeah, this chapter was real. It's basically a lot of stuff going on here. Basically, got mix and mash, lots of fighting, running around. Eventually, Luffy meets up with a bunch of people and basically kind of forms a temporary temporary crew. Not necessarily a new Straw Hat crew per se, no, but just basically people he teams up with. Yeah, but I like the fact Chopper's in the chat, but I'm thinking that this is basically set up for next chapter, where it's gonna be a big brawl with Luffy and Luffy's new team, not replacing the Straw Hats per se, basically Team Wano. Yeah. So I'm gonna give this chapter roughly a 9 out of 10. Looking forward to next week's chapter, and no, it's not going hiatus next week. I hope not. Well, I hope next week it's not basically break. Just forward to 950 chapter of the manga. I hope not. I really hope not. Okay. So that's particularly it for this particular review. My next review is going to be review the newest chapter of My Hero Academia. Yes, the new chapter finally came out. Yeah, Viz Media basically I was able to figure out exactly when next chapter came out. So yeah, new chapter came out, so I'm going to review it next. Okay. Produce next review. Bye.